This is Janet Diane Mourglia-Swerdlow for Expansions.com, bringing you another edition of News Around the World, I guess is the way to say it. One of the things that I want to talk to you about today is some comments that have been coming in on the website, which have been kind of interesting to me. And that is, a lot of people are writing in, as they do from time to time, saying, when is it all going to happen? You guys have been talking about this for years. Well, it's been happening for years, and they're closing the net in on us. And so I compiled a few stories for you just to kind of give you a rough idea from a variety of different venues of how the net is being cast and how things are happening right now. And that's one of the things that Stewart and I spend a lot of our time is watching the trends, showing you the trends, and showing you how they're setting the traps and pulling the net up and catching everybody that is unaware. So with that said, I just want to tell you about a couple of things, and I've kind of broken these down into sections for you. One is ritual deaths. Now, you will notice that we had talked about that in 2012 it's a year of healing, and of course in February I talked a lot about the number 29. This is a leap year, and 2 plus 9 is an 11, and 11 is a heavy ritual number. Now, besides 11, there's a 1, which is also a beginning number, a 10, and an 11, all of those. And so today, for example, there's a dead guitarist, Matthew Smith, for the band called Marbles for Eyes, and he died unexpectedly at the age of 28. 2 plus 8 is a 10 or a 1. So here we are working with the number 1s again, or 11. And in Indianapolis, Indiana, there was a school bus crash. Now, Indianapolis, Indiana, think about that. 2 I's or 2 1s, or that could also be extrapolated into 11. There are a lot of ritual deaths going on, and I noticed even the time of the bus crash was 7:40, which 7 plus 4 is an 11. So you want to watch all these things that are going on. A lot of people are dying out there, and you don't want to look at the time of death, their age, the supposed cause, who they are, but a lot of young people are dying unexpectedly for, from what I can tell, no reason at all. So these are usually ritual deaths. Another thing that was interesting is Jurassic Park possibilities. Again, another thing Stewart and I have been talking about for years. There was a symposium on the future of zoos held in Buffalo, New York back in February. And one of the things that they talked about was let me read this for you. It says, one tantalizing possibility is Jurassic Park-style immersion. The idea of walking from cage to cage may soon be obsolete and be replaced with animals wandering in larger areas while people would be enclosed. And so they're talking about showing you all kinds of extinct animals that basically before you've only seen pictures of. So watch for that coming up one of these days in the near future. Another thing we told you about is that universities may be disappearing and apprenticeship programs may be taking their place like they were in the old days. And I came across an article on a university called Earth University, which I've never heard about before. But interestingly enough, this curriculum teaches sustainable agricultural techniques. It says it offers a values-based education with a major entrepreneurial component. The mission statement is to prepare leaders with ethical values to contribute to the sustainable development of the human topics and construct a prosperous and just society. Now, the institution gives second-year students up to $3,000 in seed money to launch companies that specialize in entrepreneurial and agricultural ventures. They have to design a plan, have a feasibility study, and then they have to execute it. Some projects so far have succeeded, others fail. However, for the ones that succeed, the company's team members keep 78% of the profits, and they get 22% that goes back into the loan fund. They say that this university now has about 400 students from 25 different countries, and about 71% of the students come from rural communities, and 36% are women. Half of the students receive full scholarships, and this university costs $36,800 per year. So I've never heard of Earth University, but apparently here you are, another experiment that is a growing thing. We've also told you they want everybody on drugs. This was an interesting article I came across, that 11.2 million women in the U.S. take a contraceptive pill. Now, not necessarily for birth control reasons. They say that they take them for many reasons. For example, suppressing cramps, a lighter menstrual flow, reduced acne, they reduce their migraines, it helps slow the progression of endometriosis. Also, it helps with polycystic ovary syndrome, also called PCOS, which can lead to infertility. They use these contraceptive pills to help combat the genetic risk for certain cancer types, and it also reduces PMS. So 11.2 million women on contraceptive pills in the U.S. alone is incredible to me. LSD, it says, is making a reappearance because they are suggesting now that that be used to treat alcoholism. So I'm not sure which is worse, LSD or alcoholism. I don't know. Pick your poison is the way I like to say it. And of course, medical marijuana is everywhere in the news these days. In Michigan alone, there are 131,000 people who have applied for a medical marijuana card. So many that, in fact, we have to get a new printer in Lansing, which is our state capital, to keep up with it. Fighting and aggression is continually kept in the public eye, with public icons openly displaying their hostilities, and many of you may have seen the recent display between actress Carol Burnett and Joan Rivers, who's a famous comedian, of course, world-renowned. And now we hear Madonna and Elton John are arguing about who had the best Oscars party. So there are all kinds of fights in the public because they want you to see other people being aggressive, so you can do it too. Satanic activities. Now, first of all, we hear about vampires and the undead. Now we're going to have exorcisms, and who better to introduce this than three lovely young daughters of a Texas preacher. My first exorcism was when I was 13, said 17-year-old Bren. Bren has allegedly cast out demons from dozens of people, along with her 17-year-old sister Tess and her other 20-year-old sister Savannah. They seem to think that they can identify, expel evil, and they are learning on doing exorcisms. And of course, androgyny is always a hot topic, and we now have Serbian androgynous model Andrej Pejic, who was born in Bosnia and walks the runway as both a man and a woman, who is being considered for a movie about an androgynous youth named Seraphitus and Serafita. So we'll see what happens with that, but please do take a look at him. Thank you for joining me. This is Janet Diane Mourglia-Swerdlow for Expansions.com.